The RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is on the air. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals, proudly brings to you the hashtag Menieres 195 live from the Milwaukee Speedway in Iracing. This broadcast also being brought to you by TDA Motorsports, proudly sponsored by the Disabled American Veterans Association, DAV, and all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. On more information on how you can get involved, go to DAV.org. This broadcast also being brought to you by David Llewellyn and the DHL Express, Robert Lacavara and Convergent Composites, Mr. Hoot Baker, with promotional consideration paid for by Motorsports Graphic Designs. For all your in-sim graphical needs, you got something going through your mind, you want to see it on your race car, Motorsports Graphic Designs. The hashtag Menieres 195 live from the Milwaukee Mile in Iracing, DW12 version this time. Tony Trapasso up in the booth, joining me by the race controller tonight, Mr. Brandon Graham. Brandon, how are you?
Good. Not too bad. Yourself?
Well, I got this sprung on me at the last minute, and unfortunately the person who should be here talking about this, because we're doing this for a fellow driver's father, Cody Eldred, IR05 Season 1 champion Cody Eldred. His father was diagnosed recently with Menieres, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and I do apologize if I'm not. Basically, it's vertigo that's marked by a spinning sensation, tinnitus, and a loud buzzing, roaring or ringing sound in the ears. Hearing loss is usually intermittent, but can occur during the vertigo episodes. Loud sounds may disorient somebody who has this. Symptoms can last from 20 minutes to over 4 hours, and people with the disease exhibit fatigue, stress, and it's not uncommon, for somebody to, just get crazy dizzy, almost like a feeling of drunkenness, and you haven't had anything. And there is no cure. So we're trying to bring awareness to this so that they can try to help find ways to combat the problem, because currently the only thing that you can really do is lay flat and stay still and focus on an unmoving object until it passes. That's really all that can be done right now. And if I'm reading this right, it'll hit 1 in 15 people around the world. So it's not something that, you're never going to experience either yourself or, a loved one having this, because we all know at least 15 people, and chances are one of them is going to have this sometime during their lifetime. But, moving on, we are at the Milwaukee Mile again, this time in the DW12s. The IR05s saw some good racing mixed with some interesting on-track activities. Hopefully, Brandon, I know you from a race control standpoint are hoping that this is the case, that it doesn't turn into what Tuesday's race turned into.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tuesday was an interesting one. We started out, and I thought the beginning, first half of the race was pretty smooth, and we had a few cautions, but it was pretty easy going. And then it seemed like the caution spread cautions towards the end there, and just got one after the other. It was very frustrating.
Very much so. I actually ran out of things to say, because normally I come into one of these events and I'm like, okay, I can cover 20 to 30 minutes of caution laps per race. And I was not only scraping the bottom of the barrel, I was actually digging into the wood after, I believe it was caution 11, to try to figure out what to talk about at that point.
It was a very frustrating race. Hoping today's a little bit better. It seems like from the practice, it looked like everyone was pretty smooth. So our fingers crossed and hope for the best.
Well, I'm being told that you can go about 25 laps before she's going to start to spit and sputter on you. So something to keep an eye on should we get a good long green flag run that sometime between lap 20 and 25 we're going to see you guys coming in. Qualifying underway right now. David Llewellyn currently setting quick time. And Ronnie Osmer just bumping him off the pole now. Chris Parkman, Jose Olivas, Bob Lacavara, and Terry Adams all have taken time so far. I'm not really surprised with what we're seeing time-wise. I mean, a low 21 is pretty honking around this track. I mean, when you're talking a very flat 1 mile track to go, a 21.0 now by David Llewellyn, Chris Parkman going 21.0. I mean, that's moving, plain and simple. There's no no real if, ands, buts sort of about it. That's really hauling the mail.
Oh yeah, these cars have so much downforce on them. I mean, it's crazy how fast you can go around a track that really doesn't have all that much bank to it.
Well, I'm being told that when the tires are at their peak, you can pretty much flat foot it through 3 and 4. You got to give it a little burp in 1 and 2, but you can pretty much flat foot through 3 and 4. So, the draft is going to be the big deciding factor, I think, tonight when who's going to use up the goodie on their tires first, and I'm being told that there is wicked aero push if you are in a good pack of cars.
I was seeing that earlier, but on the same note, talking about pack of cars and things, during practice there, we were seeing a lot of, we saw some 3 wide and a lot of passing going on. So, it could make for an exciting race. The fact that you have 2 and maybe 3 lines once you get the grooves worn in here.
Well, we didn't just see 3 wide. We saw 3 wide and they made it stick, which is even more impressive.
Right.
So,
and how is that?
Just over a minute left in before the drivers' meeting. Isaiah Dupree currently sitting quick time, 21.015. So flirting with a 20, going sub 21. These guys are really getting after it in qualifying trim right now. David Llewellyn, Ronnie Osmer, Chris Parkman, Gary Bauer, Mike Whitaker, Bob Lacavara, Kevin Paskowicz, Terry Adams, and Carlos Plaza rounding out your top 10. As we're about ready to throw it down trackside to league owner Alex Green. Would like to take a quick moment to remind you to please like, subscribe, and share. If you like the action you're seeing on the track, you want to get involved, go ahead and drop a comment below with your iRacing screen name, and we will pass it along to the league admins and get you added in the action on Thursday nights for the Pro Mazda Icebreaker Series.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank everybody for being here tonight. A little bit smaller field for this track, but I'm not complaining after Tuesday. Good to see 22 cars out here by the looks of it. Strength of field for this race. I feel like a pilot as I say this. I think I'm giving an cockpit briefing here. Strength of field this race is going to be 1576. Primarily A class, B class, and a couple C guys mixed in here. But we all know that doesn't mean anything here. You guys know who you're racing against. Just a few ground rules. Number one, this setup does have a lot of aero push. try to take it easy. Try to get those good green flag runs. Let's try to get the cars settled. There's going to be a couple self spins. Just stay on your toes tonight more than you usually would. Call your pits primarily through 1 and 2. Let's try to give those guys room on the bottom as they have to pit if it does come to green flag stop. New rule got passed by the competition committee this week. Let's remember to, race control will no longer answer requests to check for damage. Please don't ask them. Please use your fellow drivers if possible. It's just too much on race control, and these races have been pretty chaotic. Let's remember to be kind and polite to each other and be good citizens. Throwback week. Let's have some fun tonight. I'll turn it over to Brandon. Thank you, guys.
You guys, you pretty much touched on everything. Let's just have a good clean race. Have some long runs there, and let's have a good one. Good luck, everyone.
All right, so pre-race drivers meeting wrapping up right now. Got just enough time. If you got to use a little driver's room, do so now. I would like to take this moment to remind everybody you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. So Isaiah Dupree and Carlos Plaza are going to be starting row number 1. Row 2 is going to go to David Llewellyn and Tyler Graff. Ronnie Osmer and Chris Parkman make up row number 3. Row 4 is going to see Gary Bauer and defending DW12 Series champion Mike Whitaker. Tony Rice and Bob Lacavara making up row number 5, with row 6 going to Kevin Paskowicz and Terry Adams. Robert Hill Jr. and Jose Olivas making up row number 7, with row 8 going to Johnny Antonucci and Alex Green. Tyler Vickery and Jay Anderson being the last 2 cars to take time make up row number 9, with Matt Hollabaugh, Mick Woods, and Chris Bouchard all electing to not take time. So, Brandon, time to settle in. 195 laps. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm hoping for the long green flag runs. Not only for me, but I think I like to watch the races when there's a lot of wheel to wheel, but clean racing and everything like that. So fingers crossed for that. There are definitely a lot of people, a few people in here that stick out to me. That ran good last week. Some of them just got caught up in some unfortunate things there at the end. So I like to see them come back here and have the same success that they had on Thursday and actually finish it up.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe one of the names you might be referring to there is the newest member of Phenomenal Motorsports, and that would be the number 30 of Alex Green.
Yeah, I mean, both of my teammates there, Alex and Kevin, they ran up front the entire race on Thursday, and unfortunately just got collected each other there at the end, and fortunate, but that's racing, so hopefully they come back and make something happen tonight. Very
much so. Another name to keep an eye on that had some problems not of his own doing Tuesday would be the 20 of Chris Parkman, who unfortunately we've seen it happen before where race control gets so busy and just trying to do 6 things at once, you click the wrong button at the right time, and next thing you know, a driver gets removed from the server. And unfortunately, that did happen to Chris Parkman on Tuesday. So he's looking for a little vindication at this point, I would dare say.
Yeah, I hate that for him, but you got to understand the race control side too, especially being new race control and everything. There's a lot going on, especially these last couple races have been super busy, so it's a lot to take in, and I guess it's now his turn to come back and just prove himself yet again that he can run up front and stay up there the entire race.
True story. As I am happy that one of the camera views that we have is shot straight across the start-finish line. So should the need arise where we need to, figure out what took place at the finish, we can do so because we have the camera, and you're looking at it right now on the live screen as I'm going to pull the standings down so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. a lot of throwback schemes being shown tonight. Alex running the old McDonald's scheme. I'm seeing an old Fuzzy scheme. I believe somebody's running an old Formula One scheme. Not sure what that's all about. It's a DW12 bud. IndyCar, my friend, IndyCar. But I believe there's an old Menard scheme in there. I'm seeing an old Newman Haas scheme. Seeing a couple of those. A few old Penske throwback schemes. So, and then of course our teammates deciding to go with the one of our teammates deciding to go with the theme that the team voted on earlier when this event was announced. KP running the death scheme. Yeah. Anyways, cars gridding up right now. We're just waiting on a couple of stragglers. As the field's going to start to roll here. So, the thing that is kind of deceiving about the Milwaukee Mile is it looks like a standard oval. But if you watch the truly fast drivers here in any series, they look to try to get a late apex. And that's because that wall comes up on you rather quickly, and the way that the safer barriers are here, they'll eat your car quickly if you're too close to them. So if you can get a late apex and arc the corner, you can get under somebody going down the next straightaway and really get the drive off the corner. So lights are out on the pace car as getting ready to crank them loose here.
Green flag, green flag.
And I'm not live. Actually, I was live. Okay. So, glitch in the pace car tonight. Good to know. And it happened already. Alright! Crime in Italy. Terry Adams involved in that one. Not sure who started it, but let's see if we can figure it out.
Like the 55 just got down the rumble strip there and got a little bit loose on it.
That's kind of what I thought I saw too, but let's go to the
Caution caused by the 55 spinning on the. Let me check to see one head to toe.
Looks like Bauer and Adams are going to have to lose a lap on that one. Bauer towing, Adams trying to limp it back. Not able to do so, having to tow as he hits the wall for a second time.
Ronnie, I'm going to have you go ahead and come down pit road. We have a couple guys towing here. I'm going to hold you until you're on the same lap.
So we're on board right now with Terry Adams. You're going to see the carnage happen in front of him as there goes Ronnie, there goes Gary, and Terry just could not get low enough fast enough and just clip the still spinning Osmer, and there goes the rear suspension on that car.
All right, Ronnie, you're one lap right now ahead of Gary Bauer, the towers, so you're just one lap ahead.
And we're on board with Gary Bauer now, and just Gary with nowhere to go. Did stick the landing though, so extra points on that one for sticking the landing. So caution one being brought out in turn one Not really a good thing there. So still showing 2 laps down for Bauer and Adam, still 2 laps behind Osmer. So driver's showing a lot of respect right now, trying to find a place on the track where they don't have to worry about running over the car in front of them. So that's good to see. Again, a lot of throwback schemes tonight. Isaiah Dupree running what looks like an old, I believe that's Penske Marlboro. My Trading Paints hates me, so if I get these wrong, I'm sorry. Carlos Plaza running an old Penske scheme. Looks like Parkman running, is that a Fuzzy scheme? I believe that's an old Fuzzy scheme.
Thank you. One to go. Ronnie, you're rolling after the cars go around.
As we're hearing race control pipe in with instructions for the cars in the pits. It's Tyler Graff with the... Nope, it's not. That is Chris Parkman with the Fuzzy scheme.
Yeah, it brings back some memories. That was one of the cars that I actually worked on.
The Fuzzy's car.
Yep. Yeah, that was my second year in.
Fair enough. I keep forgetting that you work for Schmidt, isn't it?
As of right now, yes.
Green flag.
Fair enough. As Isaiah Dupree pulls the trigger as soon as the pace car twitches, Carlos Plaza fight now with Tyler Graff. Graff running... Is that an old... Tell me Graff's car does not say West on the side of it.
It might. It's the old F1 logo on it.
That's what I thought that was.
Once F1 banned the tobacco usage, they started putting names on the cars with the tobacco.
Right, so he's running something along the lines of what Kimi Räikkönen used to run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or all the Penske guys back there when they were Marlboro cars.
Yeah, well, when Penske did it, they just put stripes on the vertical stripes where it used to say Marlboro.
Yep. And they had Team Penske actually written there for a while.
Yes, I do remember that for a few races. Mostly in Canada they ran that, though.
Correct.
But Isaiah Dupree currently 0.8 of a second to the good. Carlos Plaza and Tyler Graff battling it out right now. Chris Parkman right there with them. And that is Whitaker in the Fuzzy's car.
Looks like we have an accident close to back there.
And there it is. Looks like Paskowicz and... is it Antonucci? Yes it was. Antonucci gets the nerf and then collects Paskowicz.
Yep, that's how I see it. And it looks like Kevin just couldn't hang on to it afterwards. There, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's KP in the Menards paint scheme.
Yes, it is. It looks like the...
So as KP got the nerf...
like Tony Rice, though, if you look a little bit going into one.
Yeah, Tony Rice caught the apron and went up into KP, and unfortunately, KP was fighting to hang on to it, and Johnny Antonucci had nowhere to go. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say you are correct in that one, that it was Tony Rice pushing up that caused that to happen there.
Caution's going to be caused by the 64. So it's in the apron and moving up into the 7 car, which then sent him around.
And it looks like the 7 had to tow. So something to keep an eye on there.
Yeah, if you can go ahead and come in until they're done, I'll let you know when you're raced.
So KP running the old Menards paint scheme. Tyler Vickery running, I believe that's, yes, that is a Target Chip Ganassi paint scheme on his.
10-4, thank you.
Okay, so I just got to look at Whitaker's car. It's a modified fuzzy scheme. If you look, he still has the tie-dye in the green.
Okay, so that's what was tripping me up earlier about it then. As I kept looking at it.
Yeah, it's a nod to the old fuzzy schemes, but if we're looking at it from the chopper cam right now, and you can see that the green has the standard Mike Whitaker tie-dye. And people wonder why we call him the world's fastest hippie.
So if I was leaving pit lane, I'll let you know. For 1 to green, thank you. That's 10-4, Tony. You should be 2 laps down now, if I'm correct.
No.
That just putting in 1 lap there.
Mm-hmm. I'm showing him 1 lap down.
All right, Tony, that was my mistake. It's showing you 1 lap down, so I'm going to have to let you go. Let them by 1 more time.
As the pace car is getting ready to duck on in here.
Green, green, green.
Dupree pulls the trigger as his teammate Tyler Graff going with him. I'm sorry, former teammates. As one's running for Turn 3 Motorsports, the other one is running for NLR. Chris Parkman on the move right now as Graff is under pressure. Tyler Graff.
That's the leader. You're clear.
Parkman having to back out of it to stay
Tony
off
Rice
of Graff.
Exit the lane now. He's 2 laps down.
So Tony Rice serving his penalty finally. Dupree, Graff, Plaza. Sorry, Dupree, Graff, Parkman, Plaza, Hollabaugh, Olivas,
All right, thanks, Tyler.
Whitaker, Green, Lacavara, and Vickery, your top 10 right now. As we're currently watching the battle for second shape up. Graff has it, Parkman wants it. Parkman flirting with the rumble strips, though. Working lap 18 of 195. Probably getting ready to see green flag stops start to happen here within a couple of laps. The field's starting to get strung out now. Dupree just cranking off laps. Tyler Graff now starting to settle into a rhythm as Parkman and Plaza start to duke it out for third place. That's Parkman in the Monster Energy car, Plaza in the Penske Pennzoil yellow. Parkman knowing that there's plenty of racing left to do. It's only lap 19, now working lap 20. So just going to let the youngster have it. as these guys are, again, everybody's showing everybody a little bit of respect right now. Got the early jitters out of the way finally. The Parkman using every little bit of turn 1, though.
Yeah, it looks like on that last one there, he was all the way underneath the rumble strip there for a minute.
Well, he was actually on the pit exit road. So, something to keep an eye on as to whether or not that's going to cause an issue a little bit later. And I got to think that line's got to be costing him time cutting it that low.
I would assume so, and if it's not, I can't, as these tires wear, I can't imagine it being able to stick down there very long.
Well, currently 23 laps on his set of tires, so something to keep an eye on as we work later.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Have a spin there. Looks like 3 and 4. 1 and 2.
Looks like Jose Olivas. Let's see what happened to Jose. Here he is going into the turn. You see Mike Whitaker right behind him. That's Hollabaugh in front of him.
Did not collect anyone else.
Everybody doing a great job to avoid the spinning Hurricane Jose. Yes, I went there. But Olivas, one of the call-ups from our Thursday Pro Mazda series, he has been one of the front runners just about every track we've gone to so far.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty consistently in the front. I think he was a good call up there, and he seems to really respect everyone else doing the track.
Absolutely. But yeah, Jose, runner-up in the season 1 of the Pro Mazda series, got the call up, and not sure if he's been picked up by a team yet or not, but that would definitely be a good pickup if a team needs another driver.
Oh yeah, for sure. I haven't heard if he did or not, but definitely a front runner. He'd be a good match for any team out there.
And we are seeing the first round of pit stops.
Give you a EOL there, so you can take anyone else with you, self spin. So EOL at the when we get ready to go green.
First round of pit stops underway. Whitaker and Lacavara both staying out. Whitaker to try to get another bonus point for leading the lap. Lacavara staying with him. Bouchard pitting 12 laps ago stayed out. And everybody else in the field going down pit road. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a little bit of pit strategy start to play out here. Apparently Whitaker's car says Lotus on the side of it. So it's not an old fuzzy scheme. It's a Lotus scheme with some tie-dye thrown into it. As the guys who stayed out are now going down pit road. That's going to hand the lead of the race back over to Isaiah Dupree, who won the battle off pit road. Looks like Ronnie Osmer and I believe that's Paskowicz in the Menards car, both staying out to try to get the wave. 14 and 15 laps respectively on their current stints, both 1 lap down, so that'll buy them both one of their 2 laps back. And it looks like Tony Rice directly behind them, so Tony looking to get one of his laps back as well. 26 laps into the books right now, 195 the scheduled distance here. And you are watching the Menieres 195 from the Milwaukee Mile. And this race goes out to IR05 Series Season 1 champion Cody Eldred's dad, who was recently diagnosed with that. Now, if you're not sure what Menieres is, it's basically almost constantly having to suffer from vertigo. And if you've never had vertigo, go pound a bottle of Jack Daniels and then try to stand straight. It's bed spins constantly, and you're not drunk. It's a imbalance in the inner ears. 1 out of 15 of people will suffer from it sometime in their lifetime.
All right, back of the field. Go ahead and tighten it up a little bit, please.
As you know, one of 15 people will suffer from it in their lifetime, and
Green flag, green
it's
flag.
not fun to have that situation happen. We've all, some of us, and there it goes.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Parkman. What happened? You see Parkman there right next to Alex Green. They go into turn number 1, and Parkman just tries to cut it down on cold tires, and oh my Lanta. Gary Bauer getting a piece of that one. Just got his lap back from that earlier crash and just catches a race car to the face. So, rough restart here. As Parkman, again, trying to run that uber low line through 1 and 2. Cold tires is not the best time to try to do that. Looks like everybody's able to limp it back around.
The caution caused by the 20 car bottom of the track. Collecting a few different cars there as he slid back up.
Nobody had to tow those, so that's a good thing. So Isaiah Dupree continuing to show the way. Looks like Ronnie Osmer going to be benefiting from the lucky dog on that one.
I'm not anybody having to tow, so 20 car, you'll just get well here.
So Osmer back on the lead lap after fighting tooth and nail to get the lucky dog there. Currently 15 cars on the lead lap. Mike Whitaker, the first car, 1 lap down. Not 100% sure. As Whitaker catches the tires at the end of pit road. Oh boy. Trying to stay out of everybody's way and just clips the pit wall there.
Matt, yours was a 00. Yours was a self spin after the caution had come up.
So Dupree, Graff, Plaza, Green, Hill, Vickery, Lacavara, Wood, Hollabaugh, Olivas, your top 10. As lights go out on the pace car field, start to form up 2 by 2. I would like to take this moment to remind everybody that this event is being brought to you by RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. Unfortunately, Brandon, I think we're running into the same situation that we started to run into Tuesday night, where we had a good green flag run and then cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, so it's kind of starting to turn into
Green.
fortunate, and hopefully we got a lot of racing left. So I'm still trying to stay optimistic in this. Finish it out.
As they start to get single file. So far, so good. Everybody making it through turn 1. Or not. Whitaker pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. Let's see what happened there, because that is going to bring out the caution.
Yellow flag is out.
Just cold tires, it looks like. Good grief. And that damaged that car. Whitaker, you can tell he's trying to get it turned around. And he knows the leaders are coming, just locks it down to not collect anyone else. So good thinking on you, Mike, there. And unfortunately, somebody did get into him. Oh, my Lanta. Who was that? Looks like Tony Rice. Nope, it wasn't. Who the heck was that? Ronnie Osmer. I knew it was a blue car with some yellow on it, but yeah, Ronnie Osmer just clipping Whitaker. So see a few guys taking her down pit side this time. But yeah, Whitaker, it's going to give Paskowicz the lucky dog, put him back on the lead lap. So, Isaiah Dupree continuing to show the way. Tyler Craft, Alex Green, Carlos Plaza, Robert Hill Jr. One of his early starts here in the DW12s. Might recognize that name from the Tin Tops that we broadcast on Monday nights. So,
Green, thank you.
Good to see him up towards the front. Another rookie, Tyler Vickery. So I'm looking at the top 7, and 4 of the top 7 and 5 of the top 9 are rookies. So I'm thinking that we've got a pretty decent crop of rookies coming up right now. And
I feel like I hear you say that just about every week at some point during the race.
Well, it's because you guys have been quite impressive. I mean, you're actually considered a rookie yourself because this is your first full season in the big cars.
That's my first season at all in a big car.
Right, but what I'm getting at is you guys have had such impressive drives that the finishes haven't come yet. And I do use that qualifier in that statement of yet.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, in my case, I know it seems like I run up front. It seems like every single weekend, and then it's just there's always something there towards the end, and it's frustrating.
It's called getting caught up in someone else's dumpster fire. But if you take a look at who's leading this event right now,
thank you.
You have 3 of the guys that were battling it out with Mike Whitaker at Indianapolis for the championship. Isaiah Dupree, Tyler Graff, and Alex Green. 3 of the 4 guys who were in the finals last season for the chase for the championship. So, those guys are probably going to be looking over their shoulders right now going, holy crap, where are these rookies coming from?
That's I'm trying to, I can get most of the race going, and I know the other rookies will film. Get most of the race going. It's just trying to plug it in there at the end and hope it reflects what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Green.
As the pace car twitches, Dupree pulls the trigger. Graff a little bit of sleep at the switch. Here comes Green on the inside. Plaza getting jacked up a little bit, getting stuck behind Alex Green. Here comes Robert Hill Jr. to the inside as well. So Plaza's, before long, is going to lose 2 spots here.
Yellow.
And that didn't take long. And that's the second one for Ronnie Osmer tonight. Let's see what happens. I backed it up just a little bit more here. See Osmer flash by. And around she goes on his own. So that's the second one that Osmer's brought out.
But being a self-spin, it won't quite take him out quite yet.
That's your call as race control. And I believe the rule is if you self-spin and don't collect anyone. No, it's still a caution. He brought out a caution. I don't know how the rule works.
I'm reading it right now, and it's, you know.
Well, if you're, as long as you're reading the rule and you know what it's supposed to do, it's your call to make, Mr. Race Control. Because I don't have the rule book in front of me. I have way too many screens open already to try to do that. So, as long as you know what the rule states and you're willing to follow it, that's all that matters.
I'm just going to confirm before I do anything and make any rash decisions.
Well, if you want, we can grab a member of the competition committee.
Yep, that was the plan, actually.
Okay, well, let's do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull Mike Whitaker down into the race control room and have you join in there. Sound fair?
Yep.
User was moved out of your channel.
So just double checking the rule on that one, being as that was the second caution that Ronnie Osmer brought out, that could possibly bring an end to Evolution Racing's number 55's day. Brendan Graham doing the right thing, double checking the rule and the spirit of the rule with one of the members of the competition committee. So I'm sure we'll hear what's going on momentarily here. But Isaiah Dupree currently
joined your channel.
Currently showing the way, and Brendan is back from his confab with competition committee member. What was the determination, sir?
We have discussed that it was the
You broke up.
Just a second here.
I was going to say you broke up there.
And Matt, I tried to clear your black flag for it this time, but it was, I think, something I can't clear.
If it's an EOL black flag, those you can only clear the black flag. You cannot clear the EOL.
All right, so I'm sorry. We have decided that being the self-spin, it's only worth half a point, so he's still good to continue racing in this one.
Okay, fair enough. So Osmer on thin ice right now is the field getting ready to go back to green. Let me just double check to make sure that I'm live. And there we go. I am now live just in time to catch the green flag. So Isaiah Dupree, Tyler Graff, Alex Green, three former teammates running nose to tail right now. Looks like Robert Hill. And there's another one. David Llewellyn this time.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And then we're going to have another one. Bring it out.
Let's see what happened to Llewellyn. You see him there in the blue and black car. Looks like just caught the rumble strips ever so lightly, and around she went on corner exit. You cannot put the power down trying to accelerate on the rumble strips, and David just found out the hard way there. So caution back out, working caution number 7. And who was that that ate the wall?
0-2-0 getting into the 95 of Robert Hill Jr. And that's what actually caused the caution. Caution was caused by the 0-2-0 hitting and turning the 95. 95 did tow, but I believe the 0-2-0 did as well.
Wow. Okay, let's see that again here. Yeah, the 0-2-0 got in.
I did. I just hadn't announced it yet. Thank you.
Got into the 95.
Yep, got you taken care of there, David. Thank you.
Looks like both cars having to tow, unfortunately. 95 trying to limp it back, eats the wall, and then has to tow. So, looks like 0-2-0 is going to have to hold in his pit box until the 95 is released. So you may want to inform him of that.
0-2-0, you're holding in the pit box until the 95 is released.
So, unfortunately, David Llewellyn in the 11 looks like he had some connection issues early. Tony Rice getting the lucky dog that time. So, again, that's going to put 16 cars back on the lead lap, with Terry Adams now being the first car one lap down. As we go back up towards the front of the field, 22 laps on the stint currently for Dupree, Graff, and Green. Bauer with 16, Olivas on 17. Olivas on 17, Jay Anderson on 16. Pasquich on 10, Lacavara on 12, Johnny Antonucci on 11, Tyler Vickery on 6. So, with so many laps being under caution, you got to kind of wonder how much these guys have left in the fuel tank.
Now, not to sidetrack from your moment there, I just want to inform you and everyone else, it looks like Michael Whitaker there on this restart is having some kind of a connection issue. So let everyone know behind him that he is having an issue. They drop straight to the back.
Well, that's good on Mike for doing so. Mike, one of the most considerate drivers that we have in the league. He'll run you hard, but he's always going to run you clean. And one of the guys that, if he is having connection issues and realizes that he's having connection issues, without hesitation, he'll drop to the back. So, and that's why we are proud to call Mike Whitaker our DW12 Season 1 defending champion, because it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy to win that first championship in the DW12s. And I do mean that.
Green flag, green flag.
So there it goes, dropping to the end there.
Dupree pulls the trigger. Green pulls up alongside of Graff. That's your battle for second right now. Field working its way through turns 1 and 2. Now down the back straightaway they come. Green looks like he might have it figured out right now in the DW12. Now sets his sights on trying to reel in Isaiah Dupree. And I just wish trading paints would work right so I can see the paint scheme on Green's car. Dupree, Green, Graff, Bauer, Olivas, Pascowicz, Hollabaugh, Anderson, Antonucci, and Osmer, your top 10. Working lap 51 of 195. Hollabaugh all over the transmission tunnel of Pascowicz. Looks like Whitaker down on the pit lane exit. Looks like he took it pit side, now trying to just blend into traffic carefully. Here comes Jay Anderson working on Hollabaugh right now. Anderson just bombs it to the inside. He can make it stick. Hollabaugh using that outside line to keep the momentum up. Here comes Osmer. So Osmer up into 8th. Anderson back to 9th.
Yellow flag is out.
And there we go. Parkman pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. Not sure exactly what happened there. Let's back that up just a little bit. David Llewellyn spins it out, and Parkman just self-spins to avoid clobbering David Llewellyn.
So
So
lucky that didn't turn into a lot worse.
that could have ended a whole lot more poorly. But right now, Parkman trying to limp it back to pits. But, yeah, you see Llewellyn get up into the dirty stuff there and try to cut it down. Parkman just locked it down. And
By the 11 car self-spinning.
yeah, Parkman just locking it down to try to avoid clobbering David Llewellyn. Eats the wall himself. And that's going to give, looks like Terry Adams the lucky dog. So it's going to put 16 cars back on the lead lap. As cars going pit side. Oliva staying out. There goes Adams for his lucky dog. So Oliva staying out. Bob Lacavara staying out. Tony Rice, Chris Bouchard, Tyler Vickery, and Mick Woods all staying out.
20 car self-spun to avoid contact with the 11 car. Race control is going to issue no points or penalty on that one.
So Oliva staying out to try to lead a lap. And that's going to it's going to give a couple cars the wave around now. Looks like Robert Hill Jr. and Carlos Plaza both going to get one of their laps back. Unless those cars were 2 laps down. So Lacavara staying out, flirting with disaster, I think, unfortunately. You see him in the Convergent Composites black and gold number 5 there. Has the Nigel Mansell tribute of Tony Rice right behind him. So currently working lap 57 of 195. Lacavara, Rice, Bouchard, Vickery, Woods, Dupree, Graff, Bauer,
Thank you.
Green, and Paskowicz as the lights go out on the pace car. And tonight's Heartburn brought to you by SpaghettiOs.
We're bringing out the caution.
So, looks like drivers are questioning race control, which is a no-no.
Well, we can take a look at it afterwards. I don't want to argue about it now. So, the way that I called it was that the caution was caused by you self-spinning and the 20 spun to avoid you on the bottom there.
If I can offer a suggestion, Mr. Race Control, mute the arguer's mic.
Green, green, green.
And Lacavara pulling the trigger. We're almost 3 wide. We are 3 wide going into turn number 1. It's Tyler Graff bombing it to the inside.
Yellow flag is out.
Saw that one coming, kids. Good grief. Isaiah Dupree going on a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Oh, let's see who that was. Who's that? Nope, it wasn't Ronnie. So if you back that up to the start of the race, keep your eye on the black and silver car of Tyler Graff. Makes a very aggressive move going 3 wide. Unfortunately, Mick Woods getting caught in the middle, having nowhere to go, and just gets run over by Isaiah Dupree. So, I dare say that was pretty much because the 77 decided to throw it 3 wide. At least that's
this is where race control's hard.
Oh yeah, no, and I don't envy you, but
I mean, it's that's a racing move. As much as we don't like to see it, if he had the momentum and he wanted to do it, then the spot's there. I don't see an issue with letting it go, even though I wouldn't have done it there.
On the restart, though.
Right. No, I get it, but at that point, it's still he still had the line. In my opinion, he still had the line. He had the clear advantage around it. It's one of those frustrating moments. And unfortunately, Isaiah didn't have anywhere to go at that point.
And Kevin Paskowitz losing a front wing because of it.
I'm going to put the caution on the 93 car in front of him. Fortunately, it was 3 wide, but the 77 did have the line for it, and 93 just didn't have anywhere to go and did get into the back.
Okay, so that being put on Isaiah Dupree. And unfortunately, Mick Woods having to tow, so Dupree...
No, I mean, I want to call it almost a racing incident, but, being that he came up on that and you were not there yet, you did get into the gearbox of him. It does give you time to kind of lay back off of it for the 3 wide. That's kind of the way, that's a tough call for race control. It could go, depending on who it is, 100 different ways. Just not arguing with you at all. I understand. It's that's a tough one.
Unfortunately, Isaiah Dupree going to have to sit on pit road for a handful of laps now, as Mick Woods currently 4 laps down, having to tow.
Thanks, Jose.
Brandon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to all the drivers. I didn't hear anything that you said.
I said, unfortunately, Isaiah's going to have to sit on pit road for a while, considering Mick had to tow and is now currently 4 laps down, about to go a 5th lap down.
Yep. Isaiah, I'm going to need you to bring it in there because you did have a tow on that one.
Green flag, green flag.
So, Bob Lacavara leading this thing. Chris Bouchard, what happened to Alex Green?
We do have a caution. Give me just...
No caution yet. There it is. What on earth happened to Alex Green? It looks like he just got punted. So we're going to go to the, see what the chopper picked up on this one.
I won't let you get too far, I promise, Jose.
See Green there in the purple car. You see his teammate Kevin Paskowitz right behind him on the high side. And Green just... the back end just kicked around on him.
Yeah, I'm here.
Looks like he just got up into the marbles. So tough break for Alex Green. Going to be able to limp that one back to pits, it looks like. In and out of pits, already got that thing fixed. So good on you, Alex. There. That's should give. I believe that's going to give Carlos Plaza the lucky dog. Yes, it is. So that's going to give the rookie Plaza, put him back on the lead lap. That's going to put Mike Whitaker, the next car in line to get the lucky dog. Looks like Mick Woods has retired from the event, as he is still pit side.
All right, I jumped off if you were talking to me. I do apologize again. I'm just trying to get everything kind of straightened out here.
Oh, no, I was just saying it looks like Mick Woods may have taken it pit side as he's now 6 minutes into the pits. I'm
Yes,
thinking...
he did announce his self-retire.
Okay, fair enough. So, you are watching a presentation of the RobertStackJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertStackJobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, we ask that you go to RobertStackJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. So Chris Bouchard getting the lead of the race, just getting by Bob Lacavara just before the caution came out. Lacavara 41 laps on his current fuel run. Brandon, I'm going to say that to you again. Bob Lacavara, 41 laps on his current fuel run.
That's pretty crazy. I don't know how that's going to work.
I mean, I know you can save laps under caution, but 41 laps when we were told earlier that it was 25 under green. I mean, you've almost... I mean, you're 7/8 past where you should be as... Cody Eldred joining us now. Cody, welcome. As we are doing the Menieres, I believe I'm pronouncing that right?
Menieres.
195 from the Milwaukee Mile, as we're getting ready to go back to green. Now, can you just tell us briefly, and I hope I got it right when I was talking about it earlier, can you tell us how this is affecting you personally?
Well, I would like to start off by saying thanks for doing this. It means a lot.
Green flag.
As they go green here, a big jump up in the front. My internet crapped out around like 8 o'clock and just now happened to come back on. So I'm just gonna be here probably for the rest of the race. Help you keep entertained while these guys keep getting dizzy around these tracks. And as I bring up dizzy. Menieres disease is not curable. My stepfather got diagnosed with it about a month ago. Basically, every once in a while, he gets vertigo. He had it bad a couple weeks ago. Took him about 4 days to recover from that.
Now, for those that don't know what vertigo is, it's basically likened to having the drunken bed spins and you're stone cold sober.
And, a little touch, 3 wide, 4 wide. They're wrecking.
Oh, and there it is.
Big wreck coming in.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
Wow. I'll let you take over, and then I'll continue.
Well, let's see if we can figure out what just happened there. looks like Anderson spinning Lacavara and all hell breaking loose. Paskowicz involved in that one.
Brandon, I don't think chat is enabled. You just enabled Isaiah Debris.
Thank you. That makes sense.
You're welcome.
Yep, Jay Anderson trying to fight for position, not realizing people were next to him. Hip checked Isaiah Dupree, then went up and turned Bob Lacavara, and goes up, turns Bob Lacavara, and a whole bunch of cars caught up in that one. Paskowicz looks like he's having to tow.
Matt Hollenbach got a little bit on the nose. Somebody got the catch fence.
That was Paskowicz that caught the catch fence twice.
And about 4 cars caught up in it at the tail end because there's nowhere to go.
Unfortunately, you are right. Yeah, Paskowicz had just gotten back on the lead lap and then just
Getting caught up in a bad situation, making it worse.
looks like Llewellyn caught up in that one, Parkman caught in that one, Adams caught in that one. Paskowicz still towing, by the way. So, I mean, from the looks of it, it was, Jay Anderson had a run, tried to go around Bob Lacavara, hips checks Isaiah Dupree, comes back up the track and collects Kevin Paskowicz. Hollabaugh caught in that one. Looks like Jose Olivas caught in that one as well. And Tony Rice caught in that one too. So, ton of cars getting caught up in that one. Unfortunately, though, KP's the only one that had to tow.
Yeah, it looks like Jay Anderson got into 2 different drivers coming into that turn. It was all sorts of squirrely. Can't believe they tried making it 4 wide. Matt Hollenbach came out of nowhere and needled his way through. But that was one for the record book. That's quite the pileup. That's like a Talladega wreck at a mile track.
True story. But yeah, that was ugly. That was very ugly.
Do you guys know, as I catch up here, the 7 car did have to tow in on that one, correct?
The 7 car did have to tow and lost 3 laps.
Still working, right?
I'm showing he's still in the pits.
Yep. All right. I have him clearing now.
And Chris Bouchard takes the lead after that.
Bouchard actually had the lead. Still 28 laps on his current stint. We've had enough cautions that, Bob Lacavara was 41 laps.
Did you take a pit side? Looks like the 7 car towed in, and he's now 3 laps down.
Lights off in the pace car. They're about half lap to go in green. So that shook the field up, man. I'm looking at people who were in the teens in positions, and now they're up there.
Well, you saw a lot of cars take it pit side because they kind of had to, because there were some cars that were north of 30 laps. But Bouchard, Graf, Bauer, Osmer, Hill, Vickery, Plaza, Rice, Green, Dupree, and Anton, your top 10. With Hollibaugh in the pits now, too. So, Hollibaugh about to go a lap down.
Green, green, green.
And it doesn't look like the 18 has heated.
18, I need you to pit. You need to, the 7 car did have to tow on that, and is showing 2 laps down.
And that's Robert Hill Jr. going backwards, coming out of turn 2.
Yes, you are still on the lead lap, whereas the 7 car had to tow from your incident and is sitting at 2 laps down. Okay, mine's still showing you on the lead lap. Either way, you need to make 1 more lap down.
Brandon, tell Tony Rice he's got a lot of damage.
But we're not allowed to anymore, Cody.
Yeah.
Alright.
And I'm not seeing too much damage on Tony Rice's car.
My screen, he's got right rear damage and left front damage.
Oh, yeah. Yep,
95
you can see it
car
there.
spin. You'll get
He's,
Joel here to start.
He's pitting.
So, but getting back to what we were talking about, Cody, it's kind of like having the bed spin standing up for vertigo.
That doesn't come as frequent, but he has tinnitus at least 24/7.
Which is the constant ringing in the ears.
Yeah. If anybody's a fan of Archer, that's up there.
You had to be
in
just
a good
one lap.
example.
You had to let him go one more lap on that. Check here. Good this time.
So, Anderson now able to exit the pits.
18, go ahead and catch the back of the line here until my thing updates. I don't want to put you an extra lap down.
Because I'm showing him now being shown behind the 7. So 13 cars left on the lead lap. Robert Hill Jr., the last car being scored on the lead lap. Bob Lacavara, the next car to be eligible for the lucky dog.
All right, now you're even with the 7 car who had to tow in. Thank you, 18. Appreciate it.
So Bouchard currently working lap 32 on his current fuel stint as we work lap 79 of 195. This is caution number 12. Currently 47 laps under caution. So just over half of the laps run have been led by the pace car. And it looks like Lacavara getting the lucky dog there, so that's going to put where are we?
1 degree, 95.
That's going to put 14 cars back on the lead lap. So that's going to put the 7 and the 18 both next in line to be battling for the lucky dog. As the field starts to form up 2 by 2. So, would like to remind everybody that you will have a guest commentator on Tuesday night, as I will be traveling to help my mother out with something that she needs to get taken care of this coming week. So, special guest commentator being in control of things on Tuesday night. Field works its way through the 3-4 complex. Chris Bouchard, Tyler Graff, Gary Bauer, and I'm not live.
I believe I am. Let me check. Yep. It just sounds like steamrolling bees coming through 1 and 2. And I hear someone coming.
And there it goes. And just because we can, we're going to go to... where is it? Where is it? Where is he?
No, not KP. Who the
Isaiah Dupree. And we're going to go vomit cam with Dupree. As here they come out of turn number 4. We're actually on board with... You see Green on the high side. You see Tyler Vickery in front of him. As Dupree pulls the trigger. They go into turn number 1. Dupree gets some arrow push. And then just gets boom. There it is.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Boom goes the dynamite is right, my friend.
Well, with all these throwback schemes, it is quite an interesting field of cars we have.
I'm trying to figure out who's who. I had no idea KP was in the Menards car. As David Llewellyn catches a race car to the face. But yeah, Isaiah Dupree unfortunately self-spin on that one. Is that his first or his second? I don't know.
That would put him at 1.5, one self-spin, and then it looks like earlier he got into the 66.
Yeah, but he actually collected cars this time.
I don't think they towed. I looked through the pits.
Oh, he did collect cars. I didn't go that far in the replay there.
Yeah, David Llewellyn actually caught a race car to the face this time.
And he didn't tow, so
I don't know.
It would be a point, though.
It would be a point, unfortunately.
All right, 93, because there was other cars collected in that one, I'm going to have to ask you to park it. That is your second accident of the night.
Well then.
as
Go ahead, Cody.
the Menieres eye-pacing Milwaukee race continues.
Yeah.
Folks, I apologize for this, but
10-4 to the green.
apparently a lot of the drivers didn't practice, and it just looks like cold tires are everybody's killer right now.
Well, it's cold or old tires. It's one of the two. The guys that have 5 or more laps of running on their tires seem to be okay. It's those that are under 5 or north of 20 that seem to be having the issues.
Yeah, it's the Tuesday race. I was never full throttle coming into 1 and 2. I actually laid back for most of the race. I stayed out of trouble for most of the race. I think Isaiah spun in front of me, or Ronnie Osmer spun in front of me with like 10 to go, and I ended up damaging my nose. But for me, overall, the race went pretty smoothly. We're getting to that 20 caution mark and not looking too good.
Well, we're already 51 laps under yellow. 52 of 111 laps run under caution.
I don't know. I wasn't here for the beginning of the race, and when I see Parkman sitting 4 laps down, it was crazy stuff went down. Who had the pole?
Dupree.
Isaiah. Yeah. Broussard right now didn't put a qualifying time, but he started 20th and he's leading.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, this is not indicative of the practices that we had. We had an hour-long practice prior to this session opening up, and everything was going okay.
Practice right before the race.
And that was going to be my next point. Good. Yeah, I mean, the 30-minute practice prior to qualifying, everybody was giving each other room. Everybody was showing respect. There was a couple drivers that, they were kind of sketchy, but those guys are always kind of sketchy. And
Bouchard gets the green flag.
As Gary Bauer jumps up alongside of Tyler Graff for second. Bauer early went 2 laps down because of an early caution. Now currently running second as Graff goes back to the inside. Bauer going to give him room, knows that there's still plenty of racing left as we're not even to the 100 to go mark. And there it is.
Yep.
That was close. Oh. He almost didn't have any damage, but he decided to nose the inside wall. But he got lucky there. There was 2 cars that were probably a half foot away from using him as a ramp.
Yeah. Yeah, he got real lucky. As if I'm seeing this right, he's running the Lotus 79 Mario Andretti paint scheme on that car.
It was 59 car.
You're doing a fine job, Brandon.
So because no other cars were caught up in that one, it's a half point to Antonucci. And Cody, remind me that there's an idea that I have to help eliminate some of this stuff. Being as we're giving only a half a point towards the DQ to self spins like this. I've got an idea how to solve problems, and I don't know if anybody's going to like it.
Well, this is our first. This is like our second time coming to a flat circle track. I was close, but we had some good racing there. Milwaukee just has different characteristics that we're not used to. We're used to super speedways and not lifting all that much. And coming here,
Well, the
going,
thing is, you don't have to lift a lot. You just have to roll out of the throttle and let the car take a set. It's not like you got to jam on the brakes like at Martinsville or anything crazy like that.
now don't put that head in our commander-in-chief.
No, he's already stated flatly that it'll be a cold day in hell before this league ever runs Martinsville, and I kind of have to agree with him on that statement. That would probably
because
be
I tend to have the worst ideas for races because I believe I put the idea of him for Bristol for the Valentine's Day race last season, and that was quite interesting.
It would have been a great race had it only been scheduled the length that we actually ran.
I mean, technically, we ended the race at 2:50, and no one kept going, so the standings stayed where they were. We started this race or this series as primarily top drivers, and we liked racing in the open wheel cars. It was quite a bit exciting, but we decided that to run this fairly towards the NASCAR side of things. That's why we run double file, restarts. We run super speedways that the real Indy cars don't go to. And we've kept to our roots, kind of drifting off a little bit, coming up with our own ideas and trying to keep this exciting and fun for the drivers as well, as this is a community-driven league. As I say that, it means it's driven by the drivers. We pick the setups and we pick the schedule.
I got it 59. Thank you.
It's parts of the week that I look forward to. Coming with this group of guys every twice a week. It's just a fun experience, and you grow friendships through these guys. And Bill Roberts is actually 45 minutes away from me right now at a dirt track.
Oh, that's right. He's in Eastern States this week. I forgot about that.
He is. I did forget about him too, because I was going to go to him and completely forgot. Bill Roberts being the sponsor for this league.
As Bouchard jumps out to an early lead, Bauer and Green slotting into second and third, respectively. Ronnie Osmer working his way up from a lap down, currently running in fifth as he works to the outside of Green.
We don't have a caution, but as we keep getting cautions on this restarts, it's just given the mindset of the drivers there's going to be another caution. So they are trying to gain positions at any moment. Right. Any tooth and nail that they're going to claw for.
Right, as we're closing in on the 100 to go mark, you kind of got to wonder how much does Chris Bouchard have left in the tank as Gary Bauer moves to the inside. And Bauer taking over the lead now.
As that man is on a mission every race to lead as many laps as he could.
Well, Gary Bauer is the type of driver that it's either bring me the trophy or bring me the steering wheel. And unfortunately for him, more often than not, it's been bringing back the steering wheel instead of the trophy. I don't know if Gary doesn't have a win yet in the league, does he?
I don't know if he's won in the first season, but I can't recall if he's won. I know he hasn't won. We've had quite the wide variety of winners this season. I don't think we've had a repeat winner. I think Tyler Graff might be a repeat winner, but
right. But I don't think. Yeah.
Multiple drivers winning.
Yeah, and to see Gary running out front right now as he's starting to pull away from Bouchard, there's about a 10-lap difference between those two on their tires. You kind of got to wonder what each of them has left in the tank, as Bauer currently working 40 laps on his fuel stint.
Bouchard's going to be pitting this time, too.
So Bouchard almost bingo on fuel as he's working lap 49 on his fuel stint.
And just did a pod slap to that outside turn 2 wall. We'll see if that'll hurt him later if he repairs it. And we got Carlos Plaza.
And Looks like David Llewellyn caught up in that one. Let's watch what's going on here. As you see Plaza in the Penske car.
I think he turned the wheel too much and just spun her around.
As he catches Tyler Vickery, and Vickery spins into Llewellyn. I have to say you're right. It's as Bouchard stays out because of all of that. Yeah, it looked like, at least from this standpoint, that he was trying to avoid running over Chris Bouchard because there is no real access road there. And that's actually part of the racing line where Bouchard was trying to slow down, and he just had nowhere to go.
020, causing that one with the spin, collecting the 24. 020, that is your second accident of the day. I'm going to have to ask you to park it.
He towed, so he's not out on the track right now.
So tough break for the rookie Plaza.
I believe he does have a win this season, so that doesn't hurt all too much. He just gets the participation this race, and watch him on the chase standings as the chase comes up. But the old guard of the league here, sitting in second, Terry Adams, always someone to watch. He's one hell of a racer. He's one of the most courteous drivers, I should say, out there. He gives you room.
Absolutely.
Every single time he's near you.
Absolutely. One of the best driving coaches I've ever come across, too. Anytime we're in a test and tune session.
Good degree, 10-4, thank you.
You know, Terry's always one of those guys that's willing to, lend advice where needed, or, wherever he sees that it's appropriate.
And as
take a look at the top two right now.
Yeah, I was just looking at Alex Green. I wasn't recognizing the.
Are you seeing it purple too?
No, it's orange for me.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm seeing Alex Green in a purple car for some odd reason. I don't know why Trading Paints is being evil to me tonight. We're gonna try closing it down and starting it back up yet again here. But Alex Green, Terry Adams, Matt Hollabaugh, Kevin Pasquich, Tony Rice, Bob Lacambara, Ronnie Osborne, Gary Bauer, Chris Bouchard, and Isaiah Dupree, your top 10.
As we started the field with 21 cars, 14 left on the lead lap. Vickery on the tail end of that. I think Jay Anderson got his lap back that time, where he was 2 laps down. As we had an impressive run by our very own Hoot Baker on Tuesday night, with Tyler Graff getting the victory Tuesday night, but he had 5 or 6 lucky dogs coming third.
Oh yeah,
That
definitely.
gave up.
That was impressive. Hard charger of the race because he started in 23rd.
Did he do a qualifying time?
He did do a qualifying. He was the last car to actually take time in qualifying. Started way deep back in the pack and finished on the podium. So congratulations to Hoot Baker for that one. As we're getting ready to turn them loose again. Two of the guys that started this whole thing, Terry Adams being one of the first drivers recruited, and Alex Green starting on the pole. Here we go. Terry Adams slightly asleep at the switch. Hollabaugh getting the jump as we go 3 wide into turn number 1 again. Ronnie Osborne wisely backing out of it.
Because I think Alex did lead a couple laps on Tuesday, so he's keeping the momentum going with at least leading laps.
He did.
Oh, he was up front. The majority, up in the top 5 to 10, the majority of that race. Just at the end, had unfortunately got collected by Kevin Paskowitz in that accident. The story of that team so far this year, it seems like.
That team, dude, aren't you a driver for that team?
I am. Yeah, it's the story of all of our team. Yeah, it's been a frustrating year so far. We're just waiting for the luck to turn back around.
So Green, Hollabaugh, and Osmer, with a little bit of a gap between them and Pasquich right now. And right now, Osmer has the...
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And there it is. Who do we have? Who do we have? Where is it? Terry Adams.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Looks like he brushed the wall coming out of 2.
And it's the commentator's curse there.
There it is. He just... Oh!
And Bob took quite a shot.
Good grief. Let's go to the onboard with Lacavara on that one. As you see Adams go around there and just no real place to go, Lacavara just race car to the face. Wow. Thank God this is a simulator. We've seen a couple of those tonight. As it looks like Alex Green taking it pit side. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Ronnie Osmer.
Jay Anderson
69 car spun and then made contact with the 5 and a few others. Like the 9 car did tow. And the last one off.
Jay Anderson threaded the needle to get through that wreck and get his lap back. That was quite the heads up on his part.
Absolutely. So, Anderson now back on the lead lap, currently in 13th spot. Bob Lacavara being the last car scored on the lead lap. Terry Adams.
You are good to go. You are the only one that took the tow.
Terry Adams 2 laps down. Chris Parkman 4 laps down. Mike Whitaker 5 laps down. And David Llewellyn with connection problems currently sitting 35 laps
69
down.
again. You are free to go when you're ready. You're the only one that took the tow.
How many cautions we at?
Yeah, 10-4. I'll let you know.
16 cautions for 62 laps. So just over,
thank you.
just over half the laps currently being under caution. Currently working lap 106 of 195. So Osmer unlapped himself. Gary Bauer has unlapped himself. So the two of them, it's an impressive drive from those two, without a doubt. Bauer getting caught up in, I believe it was the first wreck, and going on a real nasty one, barrel rolling down the back straightaway, and then Osmer having the
10-4, thank you.
Couple of issues there. Osmer on thin ice though, because one more oops and he's done, because he's at 1.5 incidents right now for being popped, as it looks like lights are getting ready to go out on the pace car. And they are, as we are 89 laps to go here in the excuse me. 89 laps to go in the Menieres, hashtag Menieres 195 as part of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in attempt to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com. Be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you.
Green, green, green.
The pace car comes down and the field is off.
Osmer getting a decent jump. Bauer staying with him, though. As so far, so good.
30 cars spun into 2, but no caution yet for it. Doesn't look like we're going to get one as he's back underway now.
Yeah, he just clipped the wall. He got lucky there. He could have another caution against it. And he spins in 3 and 4. And they're going to be coming through, I believe.
Here they come at speed.
Yellow, yellow.
And that's going to do it. I don't see anyone else. So, unfortunately, It's going to be on Alex Green. Let's watch the replay here. Here is the restart. You see Green and Paskowicz side by side as they go into turn number 1. Green getting sideways, catching the tire barrier. Didn't hit anyone, so and didn't bring out the caution because he was out of the racing line. Comes back up into the track, hauls it down the back straightaway, and watch him as he goes into 3. That car's crabbing a little bit as he goes down the back straightaway.
I can't believe that the road arrow is such a big factor here. You get any little bit of damage, you're going around. Reminds me of the Indy Fix series they have on Iracing. We were at Iowa, and if you just happen to have any part of damage, you are spinning. But,
well, I'm thinking
rely so much on this arrow.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is instead of using the underbody arrow to its effectiveness, it looks like they're using the wings more than the underbody arrow and the mechanical grip. So, I mean, it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't at this point, and something to consider next time we go to work on a setup for here.
But also back.
Thrown for cautionary for the 30 spin. I do understand that a lot of you were not unhappy. We're unhappy about it, but I threw it as precautionary because this track is so small that if I would have waited any longer and something were to have happened, you guys would have been caught up in it.
I agree with your call.
I would have to concur with that call. That was probably the one of the few times you're ever going to hear me say that probably was a good idea for the race control to actually throw a caution.
Agreeing, thank you. Yeah, I mean, this track being so small and the fact that he spun twice, it's just, it's one of those things where, damned if you do, damned if you don't, I guess.
And I believe the phrase is better safe than sorry.
Right, yeah.
So, it looked like he was trying to come down pit road and then at the last second negated it when the caution came out. So, Ronnie Osmer, Gary Bauer, Chris Bouchard, Tyler Graff, Isaiah Dupree, Robert Hill Jr., Matt Hollabaugh, Kevin Paskowicz, Tony Rice, and Tyler Vickery, your top 10. And currently 14 cars on the lead lap. Terry Adams, next car in line to get back on the lead lap, should we happen to have another caution. Who am I kidding? So Terry Adams, next car in line. Chris Parkman, currently 4 laps down. Mike Whitaker, currently 5 laps down. David Llewellyn, last car still running, currently 35 laps down. Removed from the race, Carlos Plaza, due to 2 cautions, Jose Olivas, Mick Woods, and
Mick Woods, I think, decided to self-park.
Yes.
He's still sitting in the pits. I think
Yes,
he's
he
just
did.
watching the race.
Yeah. So, pace car getting ready to duck on in. So, Osmer from 2 laps down early. Bauer from 2 laps down early. That's your front row right now.
Green flag, green flag.
Jay Anderson was 2 laps down. Now he's 11th. Terry Adams got his lap back. He's 1 lap down.
Paskowicz was 4 laps down at one point. Now currently sitting in 8th on the lead lap.
That is quite the drive by that gentleman.
Yeah. As we're watching Osmer, Bauer, and Bouchard start to pull away from Tyler Graff. Isaiah Dupree back into the top 5 after getting clobbered a couple of times early. I mean, that car caught more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games earlier. And
I gotta say that there's a good thing that there's no. This is a simulator with some of the hits that we've seen tonight.
True story.
And there's no noise ordinance, so this race can go all night, and hopefully it won't. But
no, it can't because there's only 1 hour left in the server.
Oh, okay.
currently working lap 117 and 195. Bauer using the line we saw Parkman use earlier, and I got to wonder how much that's got to burn off the rear tires using the pit exit road going through 1 and 2.
Yellow flag is out.
We have
We're
a
gonna have
spin.
another spin.
Alex Green.
And I hate to say this question out loud.
We'll
Yes.
just hold on to it. Hold our tongue for.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, that's a self spin, and that's the fourth self spin by year. So I'm gonna have to ask you to park it.
Crap.
As we do hate to park drivers, it hurts us emotionally. It's just to try and keep this race going smoothly.
Okay, I'll go back and relook at it.
Yeah, that's definitely not something we ever want to really have happen there. As you see green there on our screen, it's a purple car. Oh,
Actually, I'm gonna reverse that call.
what happened there? Let's go to the chopper cam. Watch the 11 of David Llewellyn in front of him.
Yeah,
The 11
that's gonna
chopped
be a
down on
reverse
him.
Call. Yeah.
The 11 chopped down on the 30 on that. Yeah, that's I got to agree with you on that one, Mr. Race Control.
Yeah, I think
that
we're gonna bring that one to the 11 car for coming down on that.
yeah. So Alex, you get to deal with more torture of kidding. As we're working lap 120 of 195. So yeah, Alex Green getting a reprieve there from having to park.
I apologize for jumping the gun on that. I for some reason, the first time I went through, it didn't show all the cars on the field. I am going to change the ruling to the 11 car causing that one by coming down on the 30, spinning him. So I'm going to give you.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's the second one on the 11. Is it not?
We might have to put. Never mind. Remind me about this accident in the East.
Well,
I'm going to stay with my ruling, and I'll make a note for the race committee to take a look at it afterwards.
Alex left anyway. I believe he's at his fast repairs.
he probably is, unfortunately.
Was that 18 or 19 there? We got a couple green flags in green flag laps, so we might see people duck down. Oh no, never mind. I was wrong. Don't talk to me.
1 to green, thank you.
All right, Cody, I just sent the reminder to you that you asked me to send to you. Currently, caution number 18, 71 laps under caution. Make sure I'm live. Bauer going to have control of the field this time. Chris Bouchard to his outside.
Bouchard, I believe, is pretty decent on the outside. Now this gentleman goes through this restart. He likes to have as much room as he can.
Green flag, green flag.
And Bauer pulls the trigger. Bouchard slightly asleep at the switch. Here comes Paskowicz on the inside.
The battle for second continues on the backstretch. Kevin Paskowicz is completed the pass, but Bouchard is coming back on the outside where there's a lot of grip up there after a while. I did enjoy running the high side on Tuesday night.
Bouchard trying to keep it wound up on the top side. Hollenbaugh in fourth right now, trying to figure out a way past as...
Yellow.
There it goes.
Robert Hill Jr. is damaged. I don't know if that was him. Don't quote me on the caution.
That was him. Let's see what did take place. You watch him come down the front straightaway here. You see Antonucci in front of him. You see Parkman behind him. Antonucci on the inside. Looks like they may have just touched a little bit. Let's go to the chopper cam, see what that picked up.
It looks like the 59 just came up into him. Split up in the middle of that corner, up into Robert Hill Jr.
So
I want to say there was no roof given between the two. No love lost there. As that is a good high line to run, but Johnny was not as low as he could have been.
Well, you also saw him come back up the track.
Yeah, he came down. It almost looks like he got that arrow push they were talking about in the practices earlier, and it just kind of pushed him up into him.
Unfortunately, yes. And unfortunately,
the arrow push is real in these cars. It's just
very much so.
How to deal with it, and sometimes it's just all of a sudden you don't know what to do.
As Hill Jr., we're watching him trying to limp it back to the pits. Tries to turn into turn 3, and there's nothing there. So he just brushes the wall again. Looks like he's able to limp it back, though, so good on him for that.
I didn't see anybody take a toe there on that one.
He did not, and Chris Parkman was able to avoid contact. So looks like Parkman is going to get the lucky dog this time. And get one of his 3 laps back.
I didn't see what we're talking about, and I'm just jumping into it now as I was reviewing. Can somebody please inform me?
Stay out.
But yeah, that is against the rules of the league. I will issue and follow the start.
What was the question? I missed it.
Looks like the 00 car did fake pit on that one, and was just unaware of the rule.
Funny, because we've been announcing it before every race, so...
10-14 green. Caution was caused by the 59 sliding up into the 95.
And we are
no one head to toe. 59 will get an EOL.
And we are 7 races into the season. So if you don't know the rules by now, it's on you, because they are posted on the league's Facebook page. So, Paskowicz from 2 laps down, currently showing the way. Hollenbaugh in second. It looks like Gary Bauer took it pit side. Jay Anderson going pit side. Tyler Vickery and Terry Adams going pit side. And
On Diggering, thank you.
As Hill Jr. and Bouchard all going pit side. Bouchard being scored the last car on the lead lap in 14th. Looks like the 00 is going pit side this time.
And Tony Riceroni coming around in second after that pit.
Okay. That was the funniest Wheel of Fortune, I believe it was a before and after that they ever had, where it was Condoleezza Riceroni that they had, and I'm not kidding, it's actually on YouTube, they did this. So yeah, that's kind of amusing. A lot of throwback schemes tonight, so kind of hard to tell who's who. As you see Paskowicz driving the throwback Menard scheme.
Green flag.
He pulls the trigger, and Osmer going with him. Tony Rice asleep at the switch in the, I believe that's a Nigel Mansell tribute car. Tyler Graff in the... Graff up to 4th. And that's where your battle is right now.
As little as green flag laps that we do have, it is always action-packed. They do not spread out quite as often as the IRO5s were, but they are all keeping smooth pace within each other. So it was quite interesting throughout the whole field.
Ooh!
Oh,
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Crashing into turn 4.
Not sure what happened with Tony Rice there. We're going to go to the replay here. Watch the cannon car. You see Graf bomb it to the inside.
Ooh, David Llewellyn takes a hell of a shot.
Rice was trying to drop down. Ouch.
I think he just, going back to that other caution we had, he turned the wheel a little bit too much, got loose, and hit the throttle at the same time.
Well, what it looked like was he tried to drop in behind Dupree, but didn't realize, or tried to drop in behind Graf and didn't realize Dupree was there, and got the wiggle. And
Gary Bauer, trying to stay out of the trouble, gets stuck in pit wall.
caution was caused by the 64 spinning and collecting a few cars in the front stretch. 64, that is your second caution of the night. I'm going to have to ask you to park it, please.
so tough break for Tony Rice as he becomes our second actual driver being popped for causing 2 full cautions on his own. And it looks like Paskowitz taking it pit side. It's going to hand the lead of the race over to Ronnie Osmer. And it looks like Hollabaugh getting the lucky dog that time. So the camera set that I'm using has an awesome speed camera down the back straightaway. The only thing is it cuts away from being able to be used as a speed camera just way too soon.
I thought I did.
So Jay Anderson coming back.
I'm going to give it back to you for the end of the line deal that happened to me on what was it, last Tuesday. I can clear the black flag, but it's still going to drop you to the end of the field.
That it will. That it will.
I wish iRacing would give race control, like total control of the race. Also, they should update that if you're spotting or you are race control, it actually tells you how many laps still green, because you can't hear it and you can't see it until the field gets double file. But I believe iRacing should in itself allow race control to take away toes. There was another thing, another idea I had that iRacing should have race control. Oh, force cars to tow.
Yes.
Instead of giving EOLs cars that are just limping it around the track, which is super aggressive. Or super annoying.
Would have to agree with you on that one. But let me throw this idea out to you, Cody. What would you say to? Because if you self spin, it's a half a point. If you don't contact another car, if you contact any other car, you get the full point for the caution.
Thank you.
Let me throw this idea out to you. What would you say if more than one car is involved in your caution? You get 1 point per car. So if I self spin and I take out 3 cars, that's 3 points. 2 points, you're automatically parked.
That might be a little steep, but maybe we can add a bigger point penalty towards the end of the race after it's finished, so they can.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. So
if you cause the big one, you're gonna get whacked hard.
I mean, I wouldn't say hard, but we'd have to figure out
harder
in happy medium for
yeah,
this. But
yeah.
It's to the point where we don't want to overdo it. You know what I mean? Might cause racers to leave. It's just you got to find that happy medium where everybody's happy.
Right. No, I'm completely with you on that one. We're currently working 61
green,
to go.
Green, green.
As the green flag comes back out, we will be 60 to go at the stripe.
Ronnie Osmer, Mr. ARCA himself, racing a few races in the ARCA series. Chris Bouchard didn't... Oh, no, that wasn't Chris Bouchard. I think that was Terry Adams or Bob Lacavara. They have similar paints. Didn't have that good of a restart, falling back a little bit. Maybe smart on his end so he doesn't get caught up in anything in the front.
And I would like to point out, the guy that he was a couple laps down earlier, currently running in fourth, Jay Anderson.
I was about to say Jay Anderson. Ooh,
Got
and
another one on the
KP
wall.
flipping
Yellow.
turn 2.
What happened there?
Ooh, somebody pushed up into him.
That's Bob Lacavara on the inside. No, that's
They
Terry.
were both on the lead lap, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Terry?
that's Terry. That was Terry.
No, that's Bob. That's Bob. You're wrong.
Yes, no, that was Bob. Okay, Terry
my
Terry
mind.
doesn't
Who
have
is
the
it?
yellow in his car.
Yeah,
So,
wheel-to-wheel contact is never fun with magnesium wheels.
true story. Snap, see you bye.
I think we just hit 20 cautions.
That was caution 21, sir. For 80 laps. As we're watching the replay again here.
Running up into the 7th car.
As much as it pains me to say this,
7th car did not have to tow, so 5, you'll just get the EOL.
the question is, does KP have any fast repairs left? Because if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all tonight. And I believe that gives Parkman another lucky dog. No, that gives Bauer the lucky dog. I'm sorry. So that puts 13 cars back on the lead lap. So retired from the race, Tony Rice, Alex Green, Carlos Plaza, David Llewellyn, Mick Woods, and Jose Olivas. So 16th through 21st.
2 to green, thank you.
As we are 2 to green. 56 laps to go. Will be 55 at the stripe when they take the green. Currently working caution number 21. So still one away from the record, which was brought out Tuesday night with 22 cautions.
No, I don't think they had 22 cautions on Tuesday. I think it was an even 20.
Oh, was it an even 20? Then we just set the new record. Because that was the new record.
Indy might have had 22 cautions.
No. Because I double checked that. The race Tuesday night was the most we've ever seen in the IRO 5s.
Oh, okay. All right. My mistake. David Llewellyn decided to leave the race. Lexi has had internet issues, I think, for 3 weeks in a row now. Drives just trying to get anything he can 35 laps down.
Well,
But
speaking of
One
having
degree, 10
internet issues, it's good to see Jay Anderson back with the lead, because Jay was having a real rough time of it earlier in the season.
I give it to the man. He rebuilt his computer trying to think of anything he could to replace to get his internet better, but ended up
rebuilt
being
his
ISP.
Yep, he rebuilt his computer, bought a new modem, finally switched ISPs, and is having a pretty decent run tonight. Currently sitting in fourth, battling back from a couple laps down. Robert Hill Jr. rebounding into fifth currently. Terry Adams running sixth, so good on you, Terry. Ronnie Osmer in control of the field. Tyler Kraft sitting in second.
Outside line, get it a little bit tighter.
That's
Who's
Matt
in that blue car?
Hollabaugh.
Hollenball.
On ball, you need to get up. It's 1 car away.
Oh no, there's a shift in the.
Never mind.
There it
Green
was.
flag, green flag.
This is hell. Good
They
evening.
stacked the field a little bit, but everybody survived going into turn 1.
So far, so good. Another coat of paint, a couple guys would have been in trouble with that turn 2 wall.
Yeah, do the actual IndyCar Verizon series come to Milwaukee? I'm not sure.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Track needs a repay for them to come back, I'm sure.
It was an attendance issue.
Oh, okay.
Biggest reason.
But they do have Gateway, and that was quite interesting, I believe.
Yeah,
Yes,
it turned
but
out to be an okay race after the caution flag fiasco.
In the front of the field, but Tony Kanaan making the switch next year to AJ Foyt Racing, that is a big move.
But I honestly, I kind of have to chime in here that I really think Milwaukee needs to be on the IndyCar schedule, considering that it is the oldest contiguously operating oval track in the North America. In North America.
Yeah, I mean, it did make for some good racing and everything. It's just couldn't get the fans there to keep it going, unfortunately. But there are some pretty exciting tracks coming to the schedule this year with the addition of Portland, so that should be.
Portland's back.
Yeah,
Yep,
they
we're gonna run
added
Portland this
Portland's the second to last race, I believe, in the season.
Well then.
Yep, and they're going to do from what I hear, they're going to do an entire repave of that track beforehand, too.
Well, all they need to do is get Formula One to go back to Watkins Glen, and I'll be a happy man.
We did drop Watkins Glen, though, off the IndyCar schedule this year.
Then I'm not a happy man. Because IndyCar weekend was always a fun weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I like that track. I like going there and working it. It's a track, but they just couldn't keep the attendance up there either.
I mean, Formula One in itself is just a money debacle. They were pulling for a GP race in New York City, and they wanted to go across the George Washington Bridge. If anybody in their wrong mind has ever driven across that bridge, there's no way they're going to close that for a full weekend.
Well, they wanted to go across the George Washington Bridge and then back through the Holland Tunnel.
Yeah, and I mean, that would be awesome. Maybe
But
like
it would be a
promo.
pardon my language, folks, but it would be a fucking nightmare from a traffic standpoint. Because Cody and I have
We
both.
did have some contact there at the back. Got a car up in the wall on the backstretch.
Who?
Parkman, and he's stuck, and he towed.
Anderson put him in there.
He did tow out
they
of the way,
touched
so we'll stay
wheels.
green there.
As we're watching here, this is the replay. Looks like Anderson wiggled. Parkman was trying to go around him on the high side, and Anderson just kept going up.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
So
No one to lift and no one to shit your pants, and he just shit his pants.
pretty
Yellow,
much.
yellow,
Then we
yellow.
got another wreck down the front stretch.
Criminally.
Kevin's into it.
Paskowicz
And
into another one. Let's see what happened here. As Paskowicz dropping to the inside as they go into turn number 3. That's Jay Anderson directly in front of Paskowicz. Paskowicz getting a little bit of aero push. Here comes Tyler Vickery, and I don't know.
It was almost a 3-wide scenario there. They
There's no almost. They were 3 wide.
Yeah, I do see it now. Putting in slow-mo. AP just didn't know there was a car on the outside, it looked like.
Yeah. That
Taking
was
those barrels to the face, that is a hard lick there for Antonucci.
As we're watching this one again here, you see Antonucci in the black car, it's Tyler Vickery in the Target car, and Mike Whitaker getting a piece of that one too. As Antonucci, just catches those water barrels to the side of the head.
And he managed to. Oh yeah, I see Whitaker. He managed to get her unhinged from the barrels. Usually, if you hit those barrels, you're stuck.
As Antonucci goes down pit road, doesn't go into his pit stall. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Because he had to have exited a closed pit. So at that point, you might just as well take the pit stop. I don't know. Waved him around the. Okay. So, with Osmer going pit side, that's going to hand the lead of the race back over to Gary Bauer, as we are 43 laps to go.
All right, so that caution, it did go through our 24 seconds nose at the last minute, and then it looked like the 7 tried to move up and give him some extra room. I am going to give it to the 7 for not keeping his line there on the outside of the corner, going for that 3 wide. But guys, we've still got a lot of laps left. It's pretty unnecessary to be diving into a 3 wide situation there.
Do I have to ask the obligatory question at this point?
No. Let me jump back through my 3 pages of notes here.
Well, with 22 cautions, I can understand why you're at 3 pages of notes.
That would be his first. He was involved in a bunch of them.
Okay, so he was caught up in so many other dumpster fires that he's lucky to have a fast repair left. Okay.
Right.
So Gary Bauer taking over the lead as Osmer goes pit side. It looks like Lacavara getting the lucky dog. No. Why is Lacavara now showing as the leader? Race control, throw the caution.
Hang on. It's not going green, is it?
No, but Lacavara is
we're
currently
not going
being
green.
shown as the leader.
And he's doing a wave around?
And he just blew by the field.
Yeah, you shouldn't be the lucky dog 5. I don't know why it's showing you that, because it's the leader on there.
Depending on where he ends up, if he's the leader at the tail end of the field, when they come around, you
This
might
is
have
gonna
to
be
have him sit
ugly.
in the pits for 1 lap.
Yeah, this is going to get ugly quickly.
Good old Iracing doesn't know how to handle a lot of cautions.
Well, we're currently working caution number 22.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Yeah, Bob's going to have to go to the pits until the field passes.
Yep, everybody is way far. He's sitting on the front stretch, so good on Bob. Good on Bob.
And when the field gets to him, just give him an EOL.
Yep, he's already gotten the EOL, and I just threw the extra caution lap.
Okay. Well then. 39 laps to go. We still have not seen the money stop. So the question is,
Well, maybe. What was the furthest that we went earlier on fuel? And we had someone go into
40,
the 30s. So
42 laps. And that was Bob Lacavara going 42 laps.
We very possibly, I mean, depending on if this thing goes like it has been, I mean, we could have some people try to gamble it and make it to that 42 lap mark again.
Possibly.
Yeah, I believe everything's in line now, so we should go 1 to green this time. Or we should go green this time.
Right. Just have the outside line tighten it up a little.
Yep.
Because Cody could drive his tow truck weaving in and out of the gap in those cars.
I don't know. The
All right,
tow
guys,
truck's about
we'll just get it tight here, and
30 feet long.
let's try to finish this race off on a good note if we can.
We had a Swift truck try to go straight on an exit ramp the other day.
That's funny. We had a Swift truck hit the 10-foot bridge over by my work in East Syracuse the other day.
Nice.
Just peeled it right like a sardine can.
So the field goes double file, pace car
Green
in.
flag, green flag.
Mr. Gary Bauer, I believe. Bob Lacavara?
No, that's Gary Bauer leading it.
Okay, Gary Bauer. We fixed that little faux pas. Good on you, Brandon, for doing that. Good heads up race controlling. These guys go down a backstretch.
And it's Bauer, Osmer, Graf, Hollabaugh, Hill, Bouchard, Anderson, Dupree, Adams, and Vickery, your top 10 right now. As the field's starting to get strung out. This is something we're hoping to see as
We got
Paskowicz
the 7 car around.
around again. And that's going to... No, he towed.
He probably got frustrated because he just self-spun.
Take a look at what happened here. As you see Whitaker right in front of him. And, yep, just tried to crank a little too much wheel into it to try to stay off of Mike Whitaker. Self-spun and towed.
Lap, so this is a bummer.
Yeah, he did tow, so good on you, Kevin, for trying not to bring out another caution. Tough break, though, that you decided to tow. I believe you might be out of fast repairs. But Gary Bauer continuing to show the way right now. As Bouchard goes to the inside of Robert Hill Jr. Those two fighting it out. That's your battle for 5th right now. And here comes Isaiah Dupree to get his nose into that mix as they go almost 3 wide. Bouchard wisely backing out of it. 3 wide down the front straightaway.
And I can't imagine the draft that these guys are getting on that long front straightaway. And then being the person to back out of a situation like that is always not fun. But good on whoever backed out on that one.
That would be Chris Bouchard. Again, discretion being a better part of valor, and Chris is quickly earning my respect on that aspect of things. As Hill hits the wall, gets the arrow push behind Bouchard, just eats a little bit of the wall, so that's going to give Vickery 6th place. As Gary Bauer is... And there it goes. Paskowicz again. Towed to get the car fixed, came back out onto the track. As it's...
KP, that's going to be too. I'm going to have to ask you to park it. 10-4, thanks, sir.
Right in front of the leaders, just barely missing everybody. Oh, wow. That had to have been a first you say it, then you do it moment for Gary Bauer, as he was right behind Paskowicz when that happened.
Yeah, that was a scary moment, I would say.
Let's go in-car with Gary on that one. You see Paskowicz up there, Bauer's up to speed, Paskowicz trying to get up to speed as they work their way through 3 and 4. Paskowicz has just come out of the pits at this point. And Bauer's on warm tires, 25 laps into his stint.
It's a lucky that one of our leaders got collected now.
And he just got by.
Wow.
And I believe Ronnie Osmer just snuck his way through there as well. He went to the low side, so wow. That was yeah.
Had some cars take that pit, and then other ones, like, looks like, not mistaken, looks like
Graf stayed out,
Graf
Dupree stayed out, Tyler Vickery stayed out, Jay Anderson stayed out, and Bob Lacavara stayed out. Osmer, Bauer, Hollabaugh, Bouchard, and Adams all went pit side, as did Robert Hill Jr.
Now, interesting note is Gary Bauer is thinking that he's going to make it from here.
Well, it's 30 laps to go. Depending on how much he saves under this caution, he could possibly do that. Had a decent run there going, though.
Yeah, I think going off of what we've had, as far as the cautions go tonight, I don't think we're done with him. So he may not be too far off in saying that he could probably make it to the end here if he plays this right.
Well, it's going to be touch and go for the rest of the field, depending on how much they can save under these cautions. So something to
Find it
keep
hard
an
to
eye on.
believe that those leaders can do it, though. I mean, the last time they were in a little bit.
14, 14, 14, 14, and 24. So Bob Lacavara is going to have to pit one more time. Depending on what we see for cautions, though, Graf, Dupree, Vickery, and Anderson might be able to pull this one off.
Wouldn't that be something? That'd be 3 in a row for Graf.
And 2 in the same week.
Yep.
So he would have, get the broom ready in case he does pull this one out. But he's got to contend with a very hungry Isaiah Dupree who hasn't had a win on the season. Tyler Vickery looking for his first win in the series. Jay Anderson looking for his first win on the season. And then you got Osmer, Lacavara, and Bauer all looking to punch their ticket to the chase.
AP decided to park it.
Well, he kind of had no choice on that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think he was out of fast repairs, too.
He was out of fast repairs, but that was his second self-spin. And did I just see Hollabaw's helmet correctly? Is that a Jack Skellington head?
I do believe I saw it earlier. I just couldn't figure out whose car it was to go back and find it again.
Yeah, it's the Pepsi car Hollabaugh. Pace car's in, and here we go. Graf pulls the trigger. Dupree goes with him. And Tyler Vickery able to get the clear on Jay Anderson. Here comes Ronnie Osmer. And Anderson goes around.
Yellow flag is out.
Ooh. Oh! That was Terry Adams.
Yeah, we're gonna have two different wrecks here, basically. The 18 spinning, but that didn't bring out the caution there. It would have been.
It was Bouchard getting into the back of Gary Bauer.
No, I don't think Gary Bauer was loose before he got there.
Yeah, he was. Bauer on cold tires got it a little bit sideways. Bouchard had nowhere to go.
Which I find very interesting because it's both Booze brothers that ended up spinning at the same exact time.
Yeah, that's kind of bizarre. But Terry Adams, good grief. You got to feel for Terry at this point.
Yep, he took a car right to the face and the catch fence. That would have been close, helmet to catch fence. And who was that just squeezed through there?
Mike Whitaker.
Mike Whitaker, the world's oldest hippie.
World's fastest hippie.
Oldest and fastest. But look at that guy, slow through there and making it through with a little bit of damage.
We're going to go to the GoPro we've got mounted to Terry Adams' helmet just to see what did happen here. Yes, that was helmet to catch fence. That was helmet to catch fence with Terry Adams.
Well, this Milwaukee paint crew, fence crew, is phenomenal because before we go green, everything is fixed and looks brand new.
Caution was caused by the 27 getting loose and spinning in front
Here
of
we're watching it at slow speed on the chase cam, and we're going to pause it right at contact, and the only thing that happened was...
yeah, it looks like the 18 self-spinned as well, but that was not what the caution was for. I do not believe it was 27 collecting a few other cars.
Yeah, it was... The only thing that stopped Terry from going helmet in... The only thing that stopped Terry from going helmet in was the kick out at the top of the catch fence.
Green, thank you. That
caught the nose of the car. Or else that would have been helmet to...
27, did you tow?
Terry towed. I know that.
Okay, you're going to have to come in for a few laps here because I know Terry towed on that one.
Oh, my Lanza. So the one thing you're never going to be able to say is that the drivers in the ISL aren't going for it.
Yeah, 10-4. If Terry's done, then
Terry Adams went 3 laps down on that one.
on the green. Thank you. It looks like Terry Adams is going to be done for the night, from what he has just told me.
Fair enough.
As the guy that was in first a couple laps ago ends up going 2 laps down.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't find it quick enough there. My apologies, Gary.
So Osmer, Halabaugh, Dupree, Vickery, Bouchard, Graf, Lacavara, Anderson, Hill, and Bauer, your top 10.
So
10
Bauer's not going laps down after that?
I don't know.
Well, the only car that towed on that one would be Terry.
But that ended his race.
Done of it.
Well, we're getting ready to go back to green here, so something race control can look at, or competition committee can look at post-race.
Green
This car
flag,
dives
green
in.
flag.
Ronnie Osmer pulled the trigger.
Now 22 laps to go as Dupree and Halabaugh go side by side. Here comes Bouchard.
As we're at 14 people watching, thanks for stopping by at this Menieres awareness race we got here at Milwaukee. I chose this race because this race will make you dizzy. Menieres disease makes... they're wrecking.
Yellow flag is out.
Matt Hollenbaugh was in it. They're continuing to wreck on the backstretch.
Looks like Halabaugh just tried to stay low, and Tyler Graf got a piece of it. Tyler Vickery got a piece of it.
Hollenbaugh it looks like he got loose. Tyler Graf hit the wall, came down and collected Tyler .2.
That's exactly what happened. Bouchard snaking his way through there. It looked like Halabaugh was trying to stay off of Bouchard. Let's see what the chopper picked up on that one.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. It's not a tumor. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He tried to stay low to stay off of Chris Bouchard, and got sideways, and Tyler Graf kind of had nowhere to go.
Yeah, some of these guys, I don't know. We have a wide variety of rig setups we have in this league. Some single monitor racers, some myself, 2 main screens, and then I have my stats on a 3rd screen. Tony broadcasting from a single screen.
Well, no, I
I
have
spin, collecting both Tylers. No one had to tow. 00, you get the EOL.
Well, no, I have a big main screen that I have iRacing up on, and then I have all my other peripherals on a smaller side screen.
Okay, and then we have VR drivers in here. Wide variety of setups here, and some causes ups and downs. VR, you do have a better chance of seeing cars on the left and right, but that also gives you false confidence on the guy below you. You may hold your line on the high side and know how far away they are, but that guy in the inside twitches just a little bit. You got to give him some give and take. I believe in the VR, you're able to just look at your nose and look behind you. I've never driven in real life, and if you look behind you, losing where you go. But the triple screens give you a good
10-4, thank you.
extension of your view. Your field of view is huge. You can see all the infield. You can see the grandstands as you're driving by. But the field of view on the single screen. My first season, I ended up driving in the default that I won the chip in that, and the default is like really close to the point where you see out the sides because you're that tower that the mirrors come up. Blocks it, so I couldn't see who was on my inside and who was on my outside, and it was completely dependent on the spotter telling me low, clear or not. And I gave as much room as I could, not winning a race and getting that championship just on finishes.
Well, the thing is, I'm running my main screen if you measure, I believe flat screens are measured corner to corner, like diagonal.
One to
Yes,
green, thank you.
diagonal.
I'm running a 47-inch flat screen, so I was actually using my mirrors as my second and third screen, if you will, because I had the mirrors cranked as far outboard as I could get them to try to eliminate any blind spots.
Yeah, as the mirrors do help. Some guys with graphics cards can't do the mirrors. Some guys don't like using them. But I have my rear view and my left and right mirrors. My field of view is set up so I can see on my left and right just enough. Don't want to put it too far back, then you get tunnel vision for the rest of your life.
You guys are making me look bad down there. I just have the one screen. That's what I've been running on.
Oh,
Again.
that's what I'm running is one screen, but it's a big effing screen.
Oh, mine's not.
I'll tell you, when I went from the 21-inch to the 47, it was night and day, and everybody said that they could tell when I made that switch because my driving actually improved.
There's a huge checkup in the field. Ronnie Osmer pulls the trigger. I'm going to take a little look on that because we have a rule against lane changes.
We do have a rule against lane changes. Is to go 3 wide down the back straightaway. Still 3 wide. Lacavara wisely checking up.
That restarts pretty clean.
15 to go. Osmer with 15 laps on his fuel stint. Question is, does he have enough to make it from here?
I think so. He should.
Well, we were hearing earlier that just under green flag running, it's 25 laps, and you will be bingo fuel. So the question is, did we have enough caution laps for Osmer to make it? Bouchard should be okay.
I think so. I think Osmer, smart enough man to we're going.
So the battle right now, the top 4 kind of throw a blanket over them, and then you're over a second back to Tyler Vickery in 5th.
Yeah, and I went from a 19-inch screen to 2 29-inch screens. As I hear people banging off turn 2 wall, 3 wide on the backstretch. Matt Hollenball threading the needle. Still 3 wide, 3 and 4, not giving an inch.
Yeah, that could have been ugly. As Hollenball goes to the inside of Anderson, and there it is. Yeah, you kind of saw that one coming down the front straightaway that was going to happen.
I didn't like the move that Jay Anderson had on that, but that's racing. You have defensive moves, but it just doesn't end well, causing the car to go a little bit lower on the inside.
That's the thing. Hollenbaugh, when he went into the corner, had absolutely no chance of making the corner.
I mean, you got to lift, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it either, but that's blocking, and blocking, is the way you go. If you're going to pinch him down there, in my opinion, that's a point where even at this point in the race, you maybe back out and that's what you're going to do instead of trying to make the pin.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it at half speed, and Jay did give him room. As soon as he realized Hollenbaugh was coming, he gave him room.
And Tyler Vickery did a great job on the outside, giving plenty of room.
Oh,
Jay
yeah.
Anderson weaving back and forth, trying to defend the spot, pushing Hollenball down low. Given Hollenball should have lifted a little bit more. It just goes back to situational awareness and where your patience lies.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Tyler Vickery just a victim of circumstance at that point.
In the battle for 5th, that was pretty nice. 10 laps to go, and Tyler Graff just ghosting through Matt.
Luckily, he ghosted through him.
Caution's going to be on the 00 moving up into the car. 00, that would be your second caution for the night. I'm going to have to ask you to park it.
All right, so Hollenbaugh done for the night.
That leaves 9 cars on the lead lap. Actually, 8 cars. Allen balls on the.
It's going to leave 8 cars on the lead lap as Anderson lost a lap going pit side. So working caution number 26. And I would like to thank everybody for staying with us tonight, as we are currently seeing lap 104 under caution.
Pretty green, thank you.
So most laps led tonight by the pace car driver. But I digress, as we are 8 to go, so I dare say next caution ends it. As much as it pains me to think about that.
Wait, this race is going to end?
Yeah, it'll be over relatively soon. And I do thank both of you for joining me in the booth tonight, because I just, like I was telling Brandon earlier in the broadcast, I normally come in with, okay, I can cover 30 minutes of caution. And then I start running out of what not to talk about if it's not action on the track. So I do thank both of you for coming in and joining me in the booth tonight.
Yeah, not a problem. I enjoy it. It's lonely down there in race control by yourself. So, now that I'm kind of starting to get the hang of it, it's watch cautions all day.
Yeah, we just need to get you a headset now.
Green 10-4, thank you.
Yeah, so we need to get you a headset, bud.
Headset, yeah.
Is that why I hear an echo?
Yes.
Thought your head was just hollow.
Well, I'm also.
Hi-yo!
That could be it. No, I'm also in Texas right now because we have testing tomorrow. So I'm on my headphones on my laptop.
Well, then let me ask the obligatory question at this point. If you guys are getting ready for testing, why do we not have Mr. Hinchcliffe in the broadcast with us?
I don't know.
You're dropping the ball, my friend. You're dropping the ball. So, pace car getting ready to duck on off. Ronnie Osborne getting ready to pull the trigger.
Green, green, green.
As Osmer pit maneuvers the pace car.
Yeah, these final 8 guys on the lead lap taking these final laps around. 5 to go this time.
Oh, there we go, spin. 18 car into the inside wall, it looks like.
Don't throw the yellow unless he stays on the track. Let this finish green.
Hopefully finish green. 5 to go.
Backstretch, crab walking. In the grass in 3 and 4, trying to keep it away from the leaders. Good on him. The leaders come by.
Osmer, Dupree, Graf, Bouchard, Lacavara. And what happened to Bouchard? Looks like Bauer may have gotten a piece of that one.
18 on that self spin. That'll be 2 points collectively. I'm going to have to ask you to park it.
It didn't cause a caution, did it?
Well, no, but what happened was Bouchard and Bauer got into it coming through 3 and 4.
I'm getting there, Gary.
Robert Hill spun in 3 and 4 and towed it.
And we're still on replay, so it's Whitaker right behind him.
He was in 7th. He was doing pretty good. Sucks on him, but he's 6 cars remain on the lead lap.
As we are back live. Osmer in control of the field, 2 to go. White flag out. Dupree, the only one that's going to have anything for Osmer at this point. Unless he runs out of fuel, which I've seen stranger things happen. Out of turn number 4, and Osmer coming home with a victory. Dupree hanging on for second. Tyler Graf coming home in third. Bouchard, Vickery, Lacavara, Whitaker, Bauer, Hill Jr., and Anderson rounding out your top 10. Anderson, the last car, still running. So
Michael Whitaker was about like 4 laps down when I started in
and
here.
now he's only 2
laps down in 7th position, keeping going on that one.
Absolutely. So let's see if we can find
Ronnie Osmer.
the young gunner himself, Ronnie Osmer for Evolution Racing, able to keep relatively clean, 1.5 points towards the final tally. Were you sweating bullets towards the end there, sir?
I was getting very nervous seeing Isaiah in my rear view, but I knew if I could just stay in front of his line and make him have arrow push, I felt confident.
Well, you were able to get 29 laps out of that last fuel stint. Did you know you could make it when you pit that last time?
I felt confident making it because I know I could save the fuel well under caution, and I still had a good amount of fuel left.
So let's go back earlier when you had that real bad one and went a couple laps down. How much of a heartbreaker was it when you saw that you had to get some lucky dogs to get back?
It was a heartbreaker, but it was still early in the race. It was a mistake I found out from cold tires. So it was a mistake I learned from, and I worked with it the rest of the race. I was patient, got my laps back, got up to the front.
Well, good on you. I believe we're in Iowa next week. So any thoughts about that one?
I love Iowa and the K&N cars, so it won't hurt.
Well, Ronnie definitely masterful job of driving, and
Hey Gary, I didn't get to that until the end. So
said it before, and
I just
as I have to mute Brandon for a moment as we're in the middle of the interview.
Hang on, you're talking over each other.
But anyways, Ronnie, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's hard to believe that you're only 17 years old with the amount of racecraft that you have.
Thank you very much.
So we will let you get back up and celebrate with your team, sir. Congratulations on punching your ticket in the DW12s. So
Thank you very much,
buddy.
We're gonna grab.
User was moved out of your channel.
We're gonna grab
User was moved to your
we're
channel.
gonna grab the interloper now, as I had to look in Ronnie's team chat to find second place finisher Isaiah Dupree.
What's up?
So I believe your car caught more airtime tonight than a skateboard at the X Games, and that was one of the most wild crashes I've seen in a long time.
User left your channel.
Yeah, I was along for the ride there. I don't even know anymore. I don't know how I made it through that. I thought it was over once I got caught in the pack, and then I got lucky twice, and everything kind of settled out from there, if you want to call that settling out.
Well, it settled out, but you started up on pole, finished second. You had some mid-race trouble, but you battled back from it. Talk us through your march through the field. Was there anything that really stuck out in your mind as a pucker moment?
I
said
think
pucker, by the way. That might have sounded like a different word, but he said
User
pucker.
joined your channel.
I did say pucker with a P.
I think there was one time towards the end-ish where there was a wreck in front of Tyler, and I had to check up, and I didn't have any fast repairs left. And I thought that was the end of my night, and I just barely missed the back of him. But it was fun if we got going. It's just we only got 3 runs to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was, and like Cody and I were talking earlier, it's running the shorter, flatter tracks where you really have to, put racecraft into play. A lot of these guys are more super speedway oriented drivers, and this is definitely outside of a lot of guys' wheelhouse.
Yeah, it was still fun though. Chased down Ronnie there at the end, couldn't get him. The arrow push was really, really bad, but still fun.
Well, that's what we were hearing all night, that it was a battle of arrow push. So while you're still here, we are going to try to find where the hell did he move to. He's not in TeamSpeak, apparently.
Who are you looking for?
Your former teammate.
Tyler.
Tyler? Oh no, he's in Ronnie's chat also. We went down there.
Oh, there he is. He's. Yeah.
User was moved to your channel.
So, go ahead, Cody.
No, I was just going to run the statistics down on the race, but go ahead. Tyler Graff had the cleanest race with only 4 incidents. Everybody
Lucky
else
bastard.
was in like the teens. I think your 4X was actually you sliding through somebody, I believe, right?
The first time the 0-0 spun, I had to check up in a really bad spot on the exit, and I clipped him and tapped the wall, and then Vickery had nowhere to go, so that's where the 4X came from. But other than that, I had a clean race, so I really don't have anything to complain about after that. It's just one of those races.
Well, fair enough. I mean, it was definitely, when you guys were actually racing, it was an entertaining race.
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. I think the part of the biggest issue is everyone is just sitting there and overthinking it, and the people that are saying, "Hey, we need to run clean. Hey, we need to be patient," are the ones that are putting themselves in bad spots too. And then A follows B, and then cautions breed cautions. It's not anyone's specific fault. It's just when we're all used to running big tracks and we have a crap ton of room. Sorry, I had to catch that there. You could race a lot different, and with these you can't. Especially if the aero push, you gotta mind your own P's and Q's and stick your nose in when you have the position and not when it's forced or whatever.
Fair enough. But you guys definitely showed that it takes tenacity and it takes a lot of patience to get back up there. Because I believe you were both at least one lap down at one point.
We came close, but I don't think either of us were a lap down.
Yeah, I don't think either of us were. I know it was really close at that one with about 20 to go where I got wrecked. I had to go in and just take a fast repair. I was happy the fast repair actually worked with all the glitches that were going on tonight. But
True story.
yeah, it's one of those things. Everyone gets upset at these long races at little tracks. I think it'll be good therapy for everyone to go to Chicago next week.
Oh, is it Chicago next week? I thought it was Iowa.
No, it's Chicago Lane.
All right, even better. So Chicago should be a decent run because that's always a good track for this league. But yeah, definitely. Congratulations on the podium, guys. Gonna have to wait and see how the points shake out for teams in this one, but I believe you guys. I believe NLR is still going to maintain the top of the team standings, and Turn 3 is going to be still in second of the team standings after this.
That's surprising.
Awesome.
We've only had one driver on each team. For the
I'm
past
literally
3 weeks.
the only driver to have ran more than 2 races for my team, so I guess that's something to be proud
keep
of.
getting those top 5s, and you're
I
getting
don't know
double the
how.
points than everybody else.
Yeah, the podium finishes are what help.
For sure. I know for T3, Jacob's living on in a RV right now, and they're in the process of moving. So.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's I'm sure that's a process. I wouldn't want to be in his situation with 5 people living in an RV.
No, I think he's going to be back Tuesday though, so hopefully we can get some team points there. Would be nice.
All right. Well, Cody, do you have anything else for us tonight?
Good racing, guys. Had to say we got 26 cautions. Ronnie Osmer did lead most of the laps. Gary Bauer fastest lap. Tyler Graff had the cleanest race with 4. Somebody did hit 23 incident. I see.
Probably me.
Tyler Lugo Victory. No, you only had 14.
That's amazing.
Tyler Vickery only got the hard charger 18th to 5th. 6 cars finished on the lead lap.
Bouchard started 20th and finished 4th.
Bouchard didn't take time in qualifying.
Yep.
Oh, he must not have known that.
He apparently didn't know. Not him. It was some.
So
Didn't know that you can't fake pit.
that
But-
was Hollabaugh that fake pitted.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, the Menieres race at Milwaukee was quite interesting.
well, you definitely picked the right race to choose as far as to bring awareness to Menieres, which for those of you joining us late, Menieres is generally an inner ear disease that there is no cure for, that affects your balance and makes you have vertigo on a semi-regular basis. So I believe that's going to do it for this broadcast finally. On behalf of Mr. Brendan Graham on race control, Cody Eldred, my broadcast partner this evening, you have been watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. We will see you Tuesday night from Chicagoland.
User left your channel.